Tell me the count.
Good evening. JB, Ignite Your Purpose, episode 125. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Max is over there doing his thing in his lemon shirt. And we're here, as always. We talk longevity through a healthy lifestyle. It's the mix of the mental, the physical, and the spiritual knowledge. Mind, body, soul trifecta. Each and every day, negative to positive, just baby step by baby step.
That's it. That's all we can do.
And we are living that dream at the moment with the channel, with the blogs, with the learning, with the lessons every single day. And 2 listens here, 3 listens there, a couple of watches, so it's great. In this episode, subscribe. We're going to talk about the grass is always greener, or the grass ain't always greener on the other side. So I do hope, to the big boy, that Max has got something to say on this.
Well, right off the bat, John, I know you and I in some of the pre and post shows have mentioned indirectly this type of topic, but it is a mentality that we all have. And basically it's a fear of looking inward straight up. That's where we start off, right? And you and I have spoken about numerous people we know who think that, hey, you know, relationships rocky, or the business is rocky, or this is rocky, so maybe we should get a dog together, or maybe we should have kids to solve the problem, or maybe we should buy another business so that, you know, because this one's failing, if we buy another one, it'll be better.
Yeah.
And it's just this I want to say hamster wheel we're in, that we assume and we think that instead of dealing with the problems, if we just buy more stuff or do more things or sprinkle a little more syrup or icing on top of the shit we're already eating, it'll taste better. And sadly mistaken, because each of one of us has been through this, and until we can dig our own safe haven, we can look at the problems and figure them out. You know, the grass is never greener. So if John and I are like, you know what, we're only getting 10,000 views a month, we want 100,000. So John, if we move to California tomorrow, we will get that 100,000.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
But we haven't dealt with any of the marketing, any of the issues, you know, gotten better ourselves. But that end destination of California, that's the answer.
Yeah.
Well, then you're doomed to fail and repeat the same mistake again, because the universe is trying to teach us a lesson. John, I know you want to talk.
Well, California's a nice place to work it out.
Mm-hmm. That is true, especially coming into winter. I would agree with you on that.
I've got a couple of examples of this that have come up tonight, because I was given we've got a guest, and I was giving her the short version of the life story. And the first one was in a past relationship, myself and Catherine, been together 5 years, and the first 3 years were awesome. And then when I left the army, the next sort of 6 months or a year was okay, but not as great. And then towards the end, relationships just separate. And
there's a reason for it.
Reason, season, lifetime, which is a subject for another day. And I think I remember saying, well, shall we get married and have kids? Because that'll make it all better. I'm thinking that is some dysfunctional freaking element of my personality or Catherine's. Fortunately, I pulled the pin on that, and I've gone on to do my thing. Catherine, I believe, is a couple of children in London, have a great life, so I wish her well. But after that relationship, I packed some bag. I quit my job, went yacht racing for 3 weeks, caught pneumonia, went to Germany, did a job, and then I cleared off to Australia for 6 or 8 weeks to go find myself, discover myself, and have a great time. I was probably early 30s or something, maybe a little bit older than that. And ended up in New Zealand, met a girl on the bus, got invited to a party, met her friends, met the guy she was hanging around with, Edmund Hillary on Mount Everest. Just met these incredible people, met the deputy mayoress, and she says, well, I'll tell you what, John, if you want to hang around for a bit, I'll sort you out a work permit. Went to Christchurch Airport, asked around, found a job. I thought, oh, this is fucking it. That's it. My new life in New Zealand. What a place. Island life. I'm an island boy. I've just got to go back home to sell a house. went back home, and obviously life rolls on. But in that post amazing, this will be perfect time, I thought, well, actually, mate, you're still freaking going to be taking your own problems, your own issues, whatever those problems were. You would have just taken the shit from the Isle of Man or the UK to the other side of the world, and yeah, and repeated the same mistakes there. And I could have been there now, living the same dysfunctional life that I had in the UK. But I came back, and then about 10 years later, or something like that, started looking inwardly, becoming self aware, becoming more conscious of my behavior and how I react and interact with people. And so, therefore, ultimately, the grass is not greener on the other side. The greenness is inside, and if we could get inside and peel away those layers to understand why we do behave and act the way we do. And generally, it's not the behavior of other people that causes our issues, it's our interpretation of their behavior. So,
Amen. And now, how many times, John, and how many people do you know? I'm guilty of this, right? And I'll have to stop myself due to the thankfully that I'm aware and be like, man, I have to slap myself and think harder. But when you go on vacation, you think, oh man, if I just lived here, it would be just perfect. Not understanding that that is not even reality being
well,
on
it's not real.
vacation. Exactly. So you got to put one and two together, thinking, dude, like, yeah, because you moved to wherever, Tibet, Hawaii, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, whatever. That isn't the answer. It's just another band-aid you're putting on top of the slice, right?
But on that, for those people who do end up wherever it might be on the beach saying, our life here would be, we should set up here. The question I would always fire back is, if you don't want to go back to your life so much that you want to move out here, maybe you should go back, but maybe you shouldn't go back to that job if it's making you so miserable and unhappy, and all you're doing is working your ass off all year for the 4 or 5 weeks you don't have to go to work.
There you go. And who says it best? I mean, John and I listen to a lot of and are involved in a lot of talks where, the people who are the uber overachievers always say, create a life for yourself that you don't need a vacation from. And how
Yeah,
that rang true with me was my other half and I, about 5 years ago, were seriously considering selling it all. I think you went through this too, John, didn't you? Selling
yeah,
it all.
yeah.
Let's go, do our thing. Let's move to this island and blah, blah, blah. Until you sit down and go, is that really what I'm meant to do? Sell it all and just, at 30 years old, be on an island. Like,
Go
it's
live on
just,
the beach, meditate.
yeah. And just, yeah, like if that's your calling, awesome. But for me, because I had enough self-awareness, I was like, dude, if I do that, I knew what I wanted, and there was no way that would happen. I mean, I shouldn't say it wouldn't happen, but you're still just running away from something. You're not,
You,
you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? I can't
yeah,
conjure up
you
the perfect
basically,
sentence, but
yeah, it might be a quiet space to go and say, well, actually, I've got more to give, and now that I've come here and experienced this, and I know isn't it, and what I now want to do is, but
because
certainly
day
just run
after day,
away.
yeah, and day after day after day of doing nothing for me, right? There's only so long you could do that, and that might be that 2 week vacation. And then it's like, okay, man, I know the one thing I know in my core is I have my eyes, my ears, my health,
Yeah,
my being, my mental strength. The universe has given me all of this for a reason, and I personally don't feel it's to waste it by just doing nothing in this life.
yeah,
So the
and we have
grass is not greener. I've been there, Johnny. I know you. I know you consider the same thing.
yeah. We were off to a couple of years ago. We were off to Bali to go run a retreat, sell the house, sell the cars, close the businesses, and slightly different. We weren't running away from this. We just wanted a different life, but it's a variation of the same thing. But from us to you, I think that's all for now. Thanks for listening. Hit that, hit the button or the tags or whatever it is. Things will
Thank you
pop.
so much for everybody listening on the audio, man. It's popping off. Like I say this every time. I appreciate that. We just appreciate building this community with you guys. Keep supporting, keep sharing. If you know anybody who needs that little negative to positive edge,
Yeah,
vibe with us. Two guys that came from nothing, hustled it out. We're here to help. That's it. That's all. Thanks, Johnny. Appreciate your
Thank you,
time.
buddy. Cheers, mate. Bye.